Welcome into the program. Should be a good one today. We have so much on the docket, which is not true.
No, we don't even have a docket.
Opened up with a lie. Have some things that I'd like to talk about, but will we get to it? I don't know, because we're pretty scatterbrained and aren't good at what we do. So thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome
guys.
in.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh gosh. It's cold in here again.
It is chilly.
We're back to the to the winter weather here in Ohio.
Yeah.
I love the cold. I didn't miss it for our show. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I also we are also in my own home, and I don't have pants on, so that's a big problem.
That goes back to a conversation of when do you ever wear pants? How about when it's 30? Maybe throw some on.
Maybe
throw some on.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you'll be sweating by the end of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because
I get a little lather going now.
Yeah.
Get a couple laughs in you.
Oh God! If I start to laugh, I sweat.
I don't have anything to make you laugh. I didn't do anything this week. I didn't have any malfunctions. I just kind of lived my life.
I have a good story.
Do you?
Yes, and it's a very there's teacher humor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That like it.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, I mean, it's
not funny stuff. I get you.
Yeah. So there was two fights that happened this week at our school, and
between teachers?
No, I wish.
Oh, that would have been.
I'd punch a bitch, but but no, between kids. And when the word fight is very loosely thrown around.
Yeah.
These two junior high students, were in lunch.
Which is where they always take place.
The fight did not happen in lunch. The incident that led to the fight happened during lunch. Two WideSide boys. Okay. Yeah. A student had an extra hot dog that he didn't eat. Told the one kid he could have it. He got up and went away from his tray. So the other WideSide boy devoured the hot dog before that kid got back. That was the premise of the fight. It gets better. So then the kid who is pissed off about that child eating the hot dog, throws his tray on the ground as the bell is ringing to go back to class. The teacher monitor, whoever's in there, goes, "Hey, whose trash is it?" The kid who ate the hot dog goes, "Oh, it was his trash." He now has to come back to the cafeteria, clean up his own mess that he made, that he got told on for, has to serve some kind of punishment in the school, and is now just infuriated by the fight. It gets better. So the other morning, there's about 15 minutes where it's kind of a free-for-all. Kids can be in their lockers, whatever, before the bell rings. They go meet in the bathroom, and each of them take a swing at each other. They make connection between each other's faces. The bell rings for first period. Everybody leaves the bathroom, goes to class. Then I am in the first period class of one of the kids. He goes, "I got something to tell you." I was like, "What's up?" He goes, "I got in a fight this morning." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "No, I punched a kid." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." I said, "Let's go to the office." As I'm walking down the office, my principal meets me in the hallway and he goes, "I'll take him from here." I said, "Okay." 20 minutes later, the kid comes back to get all this stuff. He leaves. I walk down to the principal's office. I'm like, "Hey, what happened?" He then tells me the story, shows me the camera footage in the cafeteria of what happened to start the fight. I am losing it because the kid now, the kid has the hot dog on his tray, gets up to go get ketchup, I find out, to put it on the hot dog. That fucking kid whole swallows the hot dog because he wanted to get it down as fast as he fucking could. I'm like, this is just gold. So two fat kids fought over a hot dog. That's the best fight. And they stopped fighting to go back to class. Like, they're not fighters. They're not angry. Like, if you said these two kids got in a fight, you're like, no, they didn't. But they hit each other once, the bell rings, and they were good enough students to go back to class and then tell on each other that they fought each other. I know it's not as funny, but God, in the moment, it was so funny.
Well, I mean, it's just the whole setup to it, and the fact that it's like a boxing match. Hey, the bell rang.
Yeah, gotta go back. Oh, when they said when I did find out that it was over a hot dog. Oh my God, very funny.
Just like lunchroom. Obviously, I've told the story. I won't tell it again. The infamous pickle situation happened. It was just fucking absurd. But I remember one. I don't even remember who they. I struggle remembering people's names.
Yeah.
But they're sitting at the lunch table and whatever, and they were friends.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever happened, the one popped up while the other guy was still sitting on the other side of the table, and throws like 3 or 4 haymakers across the table that all fucking connect. And the kid puts his head down, like almost like you're sleeping on the table.
Yeah.
And the kid's punching him in the back of the head, and it gets broken up. He gets taken out of there to the office, and the kid that got punched gets up and goes, "I'm going to beat his ass." I'm like, you
had the opportunity.
You had your chance, and it didn't go well, man. I mean, it was like, and the whole thing lasted 3 seconds or 4 seconds maybe. But it was just the way you got it. Goes, "I'm going to kick his ass." I'm like, well, you didn't put up much resistance. I mean,
did you have the hard plastic trays when you were in school? Or
yes.
Did you have? Okay, so I did too when I started school. I think I'm in like higher elementary school, 5th, 6th grade,
like
whatever it is.
Trays.
Yeah, like the prison trays. Yeah, and the high school was eating. The bell rings. They were leaving, and we were coming in for lunch. And these 2 kids get into it. And the other kid comes up behind him, and he takes that fucking metal tray and has just beat them in the fucking head with it. The next day, we had foam trays. Like, get rid of all of them now. Oh, my gosh. I'm a 5th grader, and I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? He's beating the hell out of him with a tray.
See, I don't recall any tray stuff. The rest of the stuff, just lunch, lunchroom hijinks of. It's still my favorite is this one guy. Like, we always sat in the same spot, and then there's one. As we're sitting at the table, like the line to get your food goes past the table that we sit at. And the kid that was in line kept faking like he was going to touch the guy's food.
Yeah.
And he did it again. And the guy sitting down like it was the canned peaches.
Yeah.
You get like 5 peaches or whatever and all the juice. The guy faked, and he just grabbed all the fucking peaches and threw them right in his chest. It was just like in his face, like, like, well,
don't fuck with me, man.
You know that, like it's not going to be a fight, but this guy is always going to get the last fucking.
That's funny. But yeah, that was my humorous story. I mean, it's there's not a lot of laughs that happen between students, and you know what I mean. Students do stupid shit, and that's funny.
Yeah, but it's just nothing. You like. You have like the hot dog sit. Like I haven't seen that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean that's new. That's a new twist on it. It is,
and then just like if you literally would line up 100 kids, you're not picking those 2 kids out to be in a quote unquote fight.
The one I think. I mean, obviously. The best fight ever was one that took place. It was set up in school, but then it took place across the street. It fucking had a crowd.
Yeah, you told that one. That's good.
That one was fucking epic. But the one, it was 2 girls got in a fight in the hallway. And it was like, it wasn't punches thrown, but like it was like wrestling wise. So one girl grabbed her hair. And like in wrestling, like that snap mare that they do, like that's what grabbed her hair and like fucking did that, and then it got broken up by. I mean, it was like 2 steps outside the principal's office when it took place. Yeah. But it was like Jesus Christ. I mean, it was like, then the next day the girl came in wearing a knee brace. Now I mean, it was like okay, but it was just like the hair pulling gets to I mean, just fucking ripping chunks out.
Yes. Luke has a pretty good fighting story of, it wasn't even a fight, just a incident of a fight. So I can't remember if it was a study hall where there's a girl known as like a badass chick. Like you didn't, just one of the girls you didn't mess with.
Yeah.
One of the girls, I guess, was talking shit with her, and they get face to face. The chick that you don't fuck with, like, drop it, leave it alone. You don't want this. Like, trust me, you don't want this. The girl rears back to throw a punch. She catches her punch and goes, I can't go back to fucking jail, and throws it down and walked away. And he tells it, it's like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, how badass are you that you caught the chick's punch? Yeah, I don't know if that was he's got it. He's got that. He's told that story multiple times, but it was just great. Just great.
Yeah.
What a great line. You caught a punch.
Like a lot of those you don't witness a lot of fights, but like you witness some lead ups, and then, well, the kid that threw the peach is another one that he did. We were in English class, and him and another buddy. I think I might have told you this about where they had the idea to take a Sharpie and write their nicknames on their. He's like, you can't do it with this guy.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that feels like more. He wrote asshole in Sharpie across his forehead. I'm like, the fuck did you think was going to happen with this guy?
So, as adults, just fighting's dumb and stupid.
We're awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty great, too. So my uncle, who has been last spring now.
Yeah.
Said that he went to Meijer to get however he told us he had to go to Meijer to get groceries. He pulls in, goes to Meijer, or goes inside, comes back out, and is going to pull out into like the next spot to leave. You know what I'm saying? He's like, this big fucking truck just whips it in real fast and starts like rolling his window down and pointing and cussing at me. He's like, get the fuck back, get the fuck back. And he's like, I just rolled down my window and flip him off. I'm like, fucking move. He gets out of the truck. He goes, so I got out of the truck. He's like, he's like, this guy's like 5'7". He's fucking fat as shit. He pushes me. He goes, I hit him in the face 3 times. He then tries to tackle me. He goes, I trip over like the little like grassy ledge thing. He goes, we're rolling around on the grassy ledge. I have his shirt over his face, and I'm just beating the fuck out of this guy. He goes, he's done. The guy goes to get back up. He goes, have you had enough? The guy goes, no, fuck you, man. He goes, I kick him right in the fucking face. And he's like, I was just had it. He goes, I had it with this guy. He's like, he's fighting me for no fucking reason. I don't know this guy. He goes, I just kick him right in the fucking face. He's like, I get in my car. He's like, I'm just fucking shaking. He goes, I get home. He goes, I tell my wife what happened. He's like, then she made me call the cops and tell him what happened. And the cop's like, yeah, we didn't hear anything about it. If something comes up, we'll let you know. But he's like, I was like, what the fuck just happened? He goes, I was 20 minutes. I was gone. And this all goes down. He's like, this fat fucking short guy tries to pick a fight for no reason. And he I just whipped his ass. Like, that's all it was.
That is like adult fights.
Yes.
Because for the most part, there's never been a good reason for it. It's always, especially with a guy, like online, there's so many fights on golf courses.
Yes.
That it's just like, what the fuck? Play faster. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. It was, he's a bit of the Evans have a bit of a temper.
No.
And he's like, I was just so mad that I was like, I was having a good day. Nothing was bothering me. He goes, then I got really pissed off when he tried to tackle me. I tripped over that cement ledge.
Now he's thinking, I look like a pussy now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he goes, yeah. He's like, fuck, he tried, at my outing, the last one, some guy picks up his ball and then Randy picks up the ball. It's his. The guy goes, oh, that's my ball. He's like, no, dude. He's like, I literally my fucking initials. And he's like, then he goes, well, if you need it more than I do, you just go ahead and take it. He goes, fuck you, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay, God, this is my outlay. Let's just go ahead and leave this alone. He's like, no. He goes, this mother. I'm like, just let it go. Let it go. I was like, this guy is clearly drunk. He's just trying to piss you off. Let it go. All right, I'll let it go. He hits the next shot. He goes, that motherfucker's in my head right now. I'm like, just let it go. Let it go.
Just go hit him.
Yeah.
Let's get it over with.
Like, if you're going to hit him. It's fine. Like, let's just go.
That's what I wouldn't give to see that of just like the pause. Like, obviously, they got it on security.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not going to be any audio. But then just the part of like, you could see them talk and then you see the guy get kicked in the face.
Yeah. And that was, he goes, he's like, when you're in a fight, he's like, I've never really been in like multiple, like maybe like one or two. We were in college, but he's like, I saw the punch coming. Like, it was almost slow motion. Like, that's how slow this guy swung at me. He goes, I literally went like and ducked back from it. Like, this guy was just a fucking idiot. He thought he had this big jacked up truck and he was wearing jeans and boots and had a chain wallet. I'm like, yeah, he was a douchebag.
Yeah.
It was just a funny story.
Oh my God, parking lot fight.
Yeah, he goes, we were leaving for vacation the next day.
Fleeing the country.
Yeah, he's fleeing the country, yeah. Yeah. God, that's funny.
I think it's best that his fucking wife made him call
the cops. She's like, well, you have to report it.
What are you, 12?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I didn't know what to do, you know. He goes, yeah, he goes, as soon as I tripped over that piece of concrete, he goes, like, I was fucking done. He goes, that guy was done for. He goes, I pulled his shirt over his head, I just beat the hell out of him.
Like the old hockey. Let me get
exactly.
that shirt off and you're fucked now.
Yeah, he goes, it was already like up because, you know, chubby people, shirts pop up over their gut.
A little bit,
yeah.
Pants fold in.
Yep, pretty much.
It's tough fighting for him.
He called me like 2 days after. He goes, I gotta tell you this story. I was like, okay, what's up? Yeah, it's a good. I was like, it's a good story. Good story.
I'm trying to think of adult fights that I mean, I was at a bar once with a buddy, and he was a bouncer and is also just like a massive human. I'm not going to say the name. You would know.
Yeah.
I think you would know. He's like 6'8". And this one guy's just being annoying, you know, tough guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
they're never
this
tough.
Guy's real tough guy. And I'm standing, you know, because I'm 6 foot on a good day, 5'11" most days.
Yeah.
So I'm standing next to him. We're talking. And, you know, he's like 6'6", 6'8", and the other guy's probably my height. And I'm kind of in between them. Yeah. And this guy's says something, and he's just staring at him. And I looked at the other guy. I was like, don't fucking do it. And he throws like 2 hooks and connects on both. And like over my head and hits this guy. And I think the guy knew he fucked up because he ate both of them and just looked at him.
Yeah.
And he grabbed him by the shirt and drug him out the back door and then threw him over top of a car. And it's like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like, just like,
it's time for him to go home.
Like, maybe don't come back in.
Yeah. Like, that's how you know you're a bit of a badass. Yeah. Like, you didn't fight the guy who just hit you twice.
He just like took him out.
Yeah. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, my wife was pissed off at me one time because I didn't beat the hell out of this drunk guy. And I was like, you could tell that he also may have been a crackhead in his earlier days.
Yeah.
Super skinny. I pull into the drive-through. I'm turning right. He's coming from the left lane. There's cars behind me. Like, he has to wait either way. So I pull in. He zooms right up in front of me after he gets turned in. I was like, can I help you? He goes, yeah. He goes, I think it's bullshit. You cut in front of me. I'm like, you had to wait for traffic. Like, I didn't cut in front of you. He goes, it's bullshit. He goes, that's fucking bullshit. And I'm like, dude, if you need to drive through that bad, just go ahead and go. He's like, yeah. He goes, it's about fucking time. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And I roll my window back up, and my wife's like, why did you fucking fight that guy? I was like, what was I supposed to do? You could smell the alcohol from his window being rolled down. Like, what do you want me to do? Get out and beat this small person's ass and then just hop back to my car? Like, you're going to be more mad that I tried
chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, like, you're going to be mad that I did that than anything.
That sounds like we know what gets your wife going now.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. I need to headbutt some people.
Like, you just need to, I'm just going to go out and punch this guy in the face here.
Take you home, baby.
Well, I obviously, as I get older and stuff, of like, we've talked about it multiple, like, I can't be bothered with shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it just fucking get, and anymore of like, I know, like, just walking into a gas station or something like that, it's like, that motherfucker's going to buy 800 lottery tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
and I did it. I was getting gas at a Walmart, and then I wanted to just get something to drink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that little kiosk
you're outside,
there. Yeah.
and you're in between, and it's like a wind tunnel. It's 35 degrees out with 20-mile-an-hour wind. Fucking guy buying lottery tickets. There's 2 other people behind him, and so there's like, and I mean, I am getting to the point of like,
yeah.
Mike, do I have to fight this guy?
Yeah.
Like, he's done
nothing wrong.
He's like, do I need to spin him around and hit him? I mean,
somebody do it?
Hey, if you're going to get 9,000 lottery tickets, maybe go to the gas station inside where people are fucking warm as opposed to standing out here. Give me 2 pick 3s and 3 pick 4s, and you know what kind of person I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh. And I get fucking road rage now.
Yeah.
Like,
man, you're getting old fast. You getting road rage?
I mean,
I got bad road rage too, but.
And it's after like a second. Obviously, the roundabout down here, there's a bunch of idiots that don't know how to use roundabouts.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I get it. But
the outside lane cutting to the inside lane.
You know, obviously, I partake in nicotine firing things, so my window's down. And, like, I can see a window down. Like, they'll pause for, like, a second, and I'll just be, like, yelling, like, just fucking go.
Yeah.
It's not a stop sign.
I hate that.
But it is like I go 0 to fucking 100 right now.
That's been there for 10 years. The fact that people don't know how to drive it is still incredible.
I had one this morning when I was coming through of like I'm pausing for them to go by so I can come in behind.
And they wait.
And they stop.
Oh, yeah.
Of like,
you're going to get rear-ended.
You're in the roundabout.
Yeah. You don't stop.
So I rolled down the window. So you want to go?
Talk about go?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? But yeah, I've noticed that lately of like, my patience is just like, I have to get home to watch YouTube videos. I don't have all day for this shit. It's like I got a lot fucking going on.
I have not necessarily like, it's the opposite of the little man syndrome. Like I'm not a small person and my mouth is very, very sarcastic. And I know that. And I have a hard time like not saying sarcastic shit, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do anything. Like I'm towering over this person, and just some of the shit that I find funny in my own head that I say out loud sometimes. Yeah. It will get me in trouble one of these times, but it hasn't yet. But just like in the gas station, it's like, just what the lottery tickets today, and this was to actually one of the other workers that's in the gas station. There is 9 people in line to check out. 1 register open. The other person working in there is just cutting open the plastic on boxes and folding them up to stack. And I just went, man, it'd be really nice if the other register was open. And I'm like in the middle, like there's people behind me, there's people in front of me, and one of the other guys in the back, and I was like, yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? And like, I'm like, I started something. Like, yeah,
just starting to rally.
That lady must have that all the time. She didn't even fucking bat an eye. She just kept doing the boxes and kept folding. I'm like, yeah, we're talking about you.
Yeah, I get, obviously I'll stop by the gas station on my way to work.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the only person in there when I come through.
Yeah.
I get the same shit every day.
Uh-huh.
Like when I put my stuff on the counter, like I'm at the point where when I sit it down, like the barcodes are already pointed like just click it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk in and it's the same person always working. I'll get 2 steps into the door and then I'll see them walk out from behind their island and start putting some stuff, of like, I'm going to be back here in 12 seconds. We do this every day.
Yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst.
But as far as like not catching, like it happened to me today. Well, it's happened a few times of like, hey man, like you work here, you just can't say shit like that. But there's a group of people, and it's kind of like a they're making something for like a decoration or something like that. And I'm just in the room, and like there's like 5 people in there, and the one person goes in. He goes, oh, what are you making? Not even a hesitation. I just go, torture device for kids. And it was just, and they've all looked at it. I just shook my head like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just that quick. Just torture device for kids.
Yeah.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas. Yeah.
But it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, maybe check it down. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to go work by myself for a little bit because obviously I'm in some sort of mood here. But it's like the last since Monday, it's like everybody can get it, kind of thing. Of like I've been in my. It's like me and you talked about that shit of like, hey, if you want to try to get in this, I mean, like I'm quicker than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm going to dunk on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have a chance.
My mind works faster than yours.
And like the group of people that I hang around, like this is kind of what we do.
Yeah.
So.
Good luck.
But it's been like every time somebody says something, just bam, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, maybe tone it down.
Yeah, maybe back off a little bit.
Yes, you are management. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Your subordinates here.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. What a This is awesome.
Just right into the mic. I just
it's fine.
Usually I move it to this. Well, I know it didn't hit you. It's just for the listeners' virgin ears. I just got
this show's fun.
Complimented.
I look forward to this every week. This is just a fun time to sit here and talk and laugh. And
I enjoy it. It's a fun gathering of minds of wideness.
Yeah. Did you watch any college football?
I did.
What were your thoughts on it?
Here are my thoughts. We'll just start with Ohio State, mainly for the fact that we live here.
Yeah.
And that's,
That is Ohio State, right?
Obviously, they beat Indiana like they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
It's still very concerning. I did like, different thoughts of the concerningness.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the fact that during the game, I think Joe Klatt listens to this show.
Yeah.
When he's like, they got to stop with the zone blocking. It seems like they're more successful when they run straight ahead. I was like, yeah, thanks, Joel.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice if he would have noticed that 6 weeks ago when they were realizing it wasn't working.
Yeah.
But, and actually it was stats that Klatt pointed out that I knew, like, for some reason over the last 3 games, Julian Fleming can no longer catch the ball.
Yeah. Just
like
something.
where that
He's
came
allergic.
from, it just can't.
Uh-huh.
And Ibuka has just fell off a little bit of can't get open.
Yeah.
But he dropped a stat of 49% in the last couple games of completions are to Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
That's
problem.
a big problem.
Because a team like Michigan can probably put a couple guys and take that away. So, and still I don't know that we ever see Jackson Smith. I assume he's just going to the NFL at this point in time. I mean, it doesn't make sense to come back.
No, it doesn't.
Because he's still going to be a first rounder.
Yeah, it doesn't for his sake. He seems like the type of kid that would come back, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem... It seems like he wants to play, but he's also, in the same time, he's like, I want to make some money, too, at this.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, too, of like, he's healthy, of like, well, you're bringing him back against teams that, like, he should have been fully healthy multiple weeks ago, but you were bringing him back in games that you shouldn't have, and he's just tweaking it.
I feel like he's like 99%.
Yeah.
But they feel like they can beat these teams without him.
Yeah.
You know, like if he's coming back, the Michigan game he's playing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same thing with Henderson and the other back, the Williams guy. They said he's fine. It's just
like, has your insider said anything about Jackson?
Kind of, he says what we hear. I mean, he doesn't know anything else. He thinks that he's packed up too, but he also but his things where he goes, when you talk to him, he doesn't talk about packing it up. Like he hasn't just like he's still involved with a lot of stuff. So he's like, it's just kind of hard to get a read on it.
Yeah. I had to move my leg. I was getting a hamstring cramp because I'm healthy.
We're sitting down.
So we're exerting so much energy talking about football that I'm cramping up like we're playing in Miami.
To
me, it's better off for him. Like, obviously, you want top 10 money.
Yeah.
But if you fall into the 20s, you're okay.
Because you're going to
be on a fucking team.
Decent team, yeah.
And that's a conversation I had of, like, as much as, like a Justin Fields fan or whatever, but it's like, you fall to, like, 12 or 10 or whatever and end up on the Bears.
Yeah.
Like, that's where offense dies.
Yeah, shit. I have since we're talking about Ohio State and you brought up Justin Fields, I'll save it for the NFL talk. But I'm with you. Ohio State, just the inconsistency is what gets me.
Yeah.
I don't think they know who the fuck they are.
No.
I don't think Ryan Day helps them out much. I feel he is like I said last week, that the arrogance to him is like, no, this is what we do. This is Ohio State. We have a Heisman candidate. We're going to throw the football. But for sure, you got to run the ball too. I don't know if you saw Orlovsky put on Twitter. He had a clip. In the NFL in 2022, it is the least 11 yards per catch.
Okay.
1933. That's the lowest it's been.
Really?
Yes. Running the football. Average league, 4.5 yards. The highest ever.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a trend back to where you're supposed to be in running the football. Let's go ahead and make that happen.
You can't throw it all over the field, because what happens when it doesn't work? You can't win.
Exactly. So I take that for whatever you want at college. I mean, the good college football teams run the ball, whether it's running back, quarterback, jet sweeps, reverses, something or other. They find ways to run the football.
When he opened the game up with that fucking bubble screen and the 2 passes went 3 and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Let's throw another bubble. When's the last time they gained more than a yard off that bubble screen?
It's so telling.
Yeah.
It's
and
so
usually
telling.
They lose yards because the receivers can't block.
No.
They always miss the block.
Blocking. No, it's a...
well, if he gets that block, he breaks it. It was like, well, he hadn't made that block all year. So what? I mean, and then all of a sudden they just, when the Ibuka couldn't get open anymore and Fleming can't catch the ball. And then for like a 2-game span, they just quit throwing to the tight ends.
I know.
Because they seem open down the middle.
Stover seems like he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
I have an issue with the bubble screens being ran on not necessarily being ran on the first drive, but as one of your first 3 plays, unless you're setting that bubble screen up for something else, that's not going to work. You have to run the football to get people to come in to the box, or you have to throw the ball a little bit downfield where now the people are now playing off. There's not, as good as Ohio State's receivers are, teams are still playing them at 5 yards because they run fucking bubble screens.
Yeah.
You have to get vertical or you have to run the football to get people inside. That's how bubble screens work. That's why people run them.
Yeah.
And people fake
cushions.
them. Yes.
You got to have a cushion.
Yeah, you can't run and like the little quick screens, little jailbreak stuff like that. Like those don't work when they're playing 5 yard. That is a hard fucking block for any receiver to make, number one. And it's a timing thing. If that throw is low, he's tackled.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is, one, they're throwing it outside the numbers.
Yeah.
It was like, first of all,
it's a 20-yard pass.
It's a 20-yard pass of
not up the field.
That takes time. Yeah. So even if the guy's off 10 yards, by the time that ball gets there, he's within 2.
Yeah.
And we like I'm on the fucking team. They don't make guys miss.
No.
Like Ohio State they're not good at making guys miss. Like, well, we talked about that last week of the running back in every run game ever created in football. The running back's responsible for one guy. Mm-hmm. And like Mayan Williams is always that. Henderson's the same way. Yep. That one guy will get a hand on him and they go down.
Yeah.
They don't break a tackle.
No.
And in a bubble screen, you kind of have to break a tackle. You got to get one.
One guy, because typically it's always it's either the deepest guy where you have time, or it's the guy right over top.
Yeah.
That's it. You have to break one guy.
So I think where we're at on college football, because, it would be interesting to see Ohio State's defense because they play a team that can throw the ball and has some receivers this week. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And a kind of mobile quarterback. So
yeah. Capability of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it'll be funny how I'd like to see how, because Michigan fans are like, well, we beat Penn State by more than you. It's like, well, you played them at home.
Mm-hmm.
But they forget which I think I told you about that thread I was reading through of like jumping back and forth, and the Ohio State fans like, well, you only beat Maryland by 7.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you want to get it down to one game, it's like, well, that's what you were just doing.
Yeah.
So if Ohio State beats Maryland by 30 or 20,
yeah.
So now is Ohio State better than Michigan again?
Yeah,
because you only want
comparing the scores is nothing.
Do that math.
Comparing the scores, like when there's the big talk now is in the SEC, who's getting in if people win out and this and that. And everybody's argument is, well, if LSU wins the SEC, which is it's possible.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Tennessee? They beat them in Baton Rouge by 30. That doesn't mean shit. That was week 5. They're a better football team.
Because here's the thing. LSU gets in if they win.
They have to.
And Georgia gets in if they lose.
Yeah.
Because they beat Tennessee.
Yes.
That's the worst case scenario for the college football playoff systems. They're like, man, if LSU wins this game, we're fucked.
We are fucked. But they have to get in.
Yeah, have to.
You're not going to let the SEC champion out.
Yeah. You're going to tell me that LSU beat Alabama and Georgia?
Yeah.
And they're not going to get in?
They're not going to get in.
Okay.
And then Georgia's in because
they're Georgia.
They're better. They beat Tennessee.
They're the best team in the country.
Yeah, by far.
I feel like they'll beat the shit out of LSU.
Yes.
And how about that? How the fuck does Vegas call that game right?
I know.
There is no reason. I mean, obviously, we spent some time talking about that of like,
yeah,
There's no reason for that to be a 3-point game.
No.
There's no reason at all. And the fact that it was 13-10 or whatever the hell of like, I just seeing, I wasn't watching the game. You see it on the tick going, oh, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be.
How do they know that?
This is going to be it. I mean.
Yeah, it's, well, hell, they still have to, and again, LSU, and it's a Brian Kelly thing, they usually play up to their competition. When it's a big game, they're ready for it, and when it's a so-so game, they're kind of on the fences. As bad as Texas A&M is, they still got to beat them.
Yeah,
they could slip, and they should not, because Texas A&M is absolutely horrid. But
are they able to even be bowl eligible now?
I don't think so.
I thought they needed like 3 wins out of.
But don't worry, Jimbo's got 9 more years on his contract.
Number 1 recruiting class for like 2 years in a row. Not bowl eligible.
Not bowl eligible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I love that because you keep seeing the Kevin Sumlin stats next to each other. Like, well, when he got fired, he had more wins in this amount of games than you do.
There was no reason to fire that guy other than it was stale.
Yeah,
and you wanted Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, and you're Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, you weren't good in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And moving to the SEC, you somehow thought, well, if we get away from Texas, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean? And it's not like you moved into the SEC in the early 2000s when Bama was garbage.
Yeah.
Like you moved in at the height of the SEC.
FC, yes.
I mean,
yeah, you have 4 teams in there now that compete.
Because this is one of those things of like the SEC's always been good.
Mm-hmm.
But until the last 15 years, 20 years, it wasn't like through the 90s and stuff.
No, they were okay.
Like because you still had the Florida States and the Miamis and like the ACC was a big.
Yeah, and then the Pac-12 went there in the early 2000s with USC and then Big 12 with Texas.
The dominance didn't happen until Florida beat Ohio State and then it started.
Yeah. Gosh.
Now the Pac-12 is doing what they do where they're just boning it.
Oregon.
So now your only chance is USC.
USC, they're not getting in unless TCU loses and
well, that's the thing. I think UCLA beats USC.
That can happen, yeah.
And then they're going to end up playing Utah or somebody again, and USC is losing another game.
Yeah,
and they're the only one that has a chance to make it now. So
yep. TCU, they surprised me with beating Texas. I really thought Texas would get them. I did.
Yeah.
And then, they didn't. So good for them. It's funny when we talk about the Pac or like the Big 12, we talk about like a lot of offense, and then you watch the Texas TCU game. It's like there's only 27 points scored. Like this was not a Big 12 game.
That's one of those things that's the other one with the CF because I think if you got them to answer how they wanted. USC would lose, so they would be out of it. Georgia beats the fuck out of LSU, so you don't even have to talk about it.
Yeah.
TCU loses twice, and then you get a close game, Ohio State, Michigan, and then you're going to end up with Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan. Everybody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
It's the game you want to see. I think Georgia's the best team, but the national championship game you would want to see for fireworks, Ohio State, Tennessee.
100%.
Because, that might be 6 because Tennessee can't stop anybody, and we don't. Ohio State you don't know if Ohio State's defense is any good.
No, you're going in the fourth quarter at 50-50.
Yeah, that's the game that you want to see.
I honestly think, oh, man, that tempo offense. Now, I know Georgia did a really good job with it, but their base defense is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So they don't have to sub a whole hell of a lot. But, oh, my God, that tempo offense would be tough to stop. Just absolutely tough to stop. And unless you have guys like Georgia has on defense, and Ohio State has some, but they don't have everybody.
They don't have a Georgia defense.
No. But, man, that would be a fun one to watch. Offensively, I mean, it would be like you said, fireworks. It would be electric.
Well, that's the other one, too, of like you start thinking about it because – obviously I said I have the feeling that Michigan will beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
But then you do look at it, like Ohio State has its struggles, and we, see more of them than anybody. And I've watched Michigan games, and they're dominant.
Yeah.
But it's like their defense is the number 1 defense in the country.
Yeah.
But then you step back and go, against who?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody says, well, Ohio State's not winning by enough. It's like, well, you're shutting people down, but like you didn't give up a lot of points to Iowa. Do you get credit for that?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a
weird situation.
It is, and I don't
just
like
because the Big Ten sucks so bad.
Yeah, I don't like the point differential thing. To me, a good team's going to find a way to win.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. And whether it's by a touchdown with 3 points, a good team will find a way to win because they're 20-year-old kids. Like they're going to have some screw ups. And whether Ohio State beats Michigan by a lot, a little, Michigan beats Ohio State by a lot or little, whoever wins, those two teams are still some of the best 4 teams in the country. I don't care if they beat each other or not. Like it's the sad fact that both of them won't get in because they played each other.
Yeah,
because they are they're ranked in the top 4 right now for a fucking reason.
Yeah, and that's still the thing of like in the perfect world that would be awesome to have those 4 teams in if it truly is a good game.
Yeah.
Big Ten ain't getting 2 schools in.
No,
that's just never happening.
No, the fun one would be what we just talked about would be Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Tennessee 3, and Michigan 4.
Yeah, and
then having a chance of Ohio State Michigan national title game, which
would be awesome,
fucking amazing. But that way you don't have rematches like that. Yeah, like I would hope the committee is smart enough to vote that way. That way we don't see 2 fucking games again.
I think they will. They would shuffle it around because it'd be the whoever loses the Ohio State Michigan game would be 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tennessee would play whoever won that game.
Yeah, that would.
And that's just assuming that the winner of that game can get by Iowa or Purdue or Illinois, whoever the fuck it. I don't know who's coming out of. I mean,
well, it's Illinois, Purdue, or like Iowa still has a chance to make it. Purdue still has a chance to make it, and Illinois, they're fucking their own season over.
Yeah,
by losing the teams, like they lost to Michigan State and Purdue. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Come on, Bielema.
I mean, up until like a week or 2 ago, Nebraska had a chance.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, how is that even possible? The Bussin' Bowl was not good.
No, from the start. Part of me was like, I don't want Michigan to lose because I want that. I wanted a part of the game, but part of me, I was like, I want Nebraska to win just to listen to fucking Compton talk shit.
Because it would be
he wouldn't stop. We would hear it next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he wouldn't stop talking. It would be awesome.
Well, it'd be like kind of how you hit like Michigan fans ever since the accusation, and then Ryan Day saying we'll hang 100 on them. Well, you've only lost to them.
Yep.
Because that year you didn't play. And then the next year you got beat and looked like shit doing it. So, in my mind, like you'd want a good game so both teams could get in. But as a fan of Ohio State, like you wanted that of, was it Urban's last year? Because Michigan was better. Like Ohio State wasn't good that year, and Michigan was better. They were ranked higher. Come in
for his first year.
No. Like his last year when they beat Michigan 66 to 30.
Yeah.
Of like that's the game you want to see of like.
Yeah.
That if the wave of points comes straight from Jump Street and it's 28-7 and we're halfway through the first quarter.
Yep.
Of like.
That would be. Like we talked about last week, that's about as Ohio State winning. They have to have at least 2 touchdown lead.
Yeah.
A touchdown lead, they're not safe.
No. That was I was watching McAfee a little bit before I came over here, and that was what obviously since he's on game day, he'll talk a little college once AJ gets on or whatever. But he obviously doesn't watch the games.
Yeah.
Which is fine. He's an NFL guy. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for me to watch a lot of college games.
He's on game day
either.
because he's awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
But he goes, everybody just keeps talking about how bad Ohio State's playing. He goes, and I'm looking at their scores of beat this team by 40, beat this team by 30, beat this team by 25, beat this of like, what are they, if they do play a good game, what is it? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. The good game they played, they beat Penn State by 2 scores.
Yeah.
The other ranked team they played, Notre Dame, they beat them by 2 scores.
Yeah.
And then they've just, other than the Northwestern game is your only bleh.
Yeah.
And then
you won by 2 scores.
Don't talk to me about the weather because I don't want to hear it.
Run the ball.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's on your coaches. It's not on the players.
Yeah. But that's the funny thing, too, with the Penn State games. Everybody's like, well, they were trailing in the fourth quarter. It's like, yeah, but they were also up 20.
Yeah.
And a garbage touchdown is what made it
Exactly.
14. So, whatever you want to say. I
Yeah.
mean, either way, they'd covered the spread. I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
It's just a weird of like, well, you didn't beat them by enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean.
The college football, I know I got pissy last week with the rankings and stuff like that. But again, they're voting for teams because of history at this point.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Alabama and Clemson are still in the top 10.
Yeah.
Clemson's horrid.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have one loss. You're horrible. Alabama, you have 2 losses. You should not be in the top 10.
Well, Clemson's ranked 8 or 9?
9. Alabama's 8.
What's North Carolina ranked?
13th at 9-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Notre Dame beat both those teams. Their one losses to Notre Dame.
Yep. Notre Dame's 18th.
Yeah. And I understand they lost to Marshall and
I
stuff.
get
It's
it,
like
yes.
the 3 best teams in your conference have all gotten dusted by Notre Dame. Like those games, they weren't even close.
No.
I mean,
no, not at all. I don't get it. I really don't.
And I like, North Carolina's a team that I root for.
Yeah.
Just because I like Mac Brown and they're, because they feel like
they don't pose a threat. I mean,
they're not a threat to anybody.
Team. And I know we talked about this when he first got the job, is like, that's a guy who adapted to the times.
Yeah.
Like that's why he's having success at North Carolina. He didn't run the old school stuff that he ran at Texas that got him fired. He's like, no, I need to probably change the way that I go about things. That's a good coach. That is a good coach. And North Carolina, I hate North Carolina. Obviously, I'm a Duke fan, but good for him.
Yeah, well, it's not like you're a Duke football fan.
No, but I don't want to see him have success. But
they're not.
I know, but yes.
They're never going to have success. 9-1 successful, and they don't have a chance at anything.
No.
So.
And that's the problem. They wouldn't have a chance. They're not in the top 12 when this expands at 9-1.
Yeah.
Because you think Clemson, now Alabama's better, but you think Clemson, Utah, somebody else is better than them.
Oh, yeah, which Utah is.
Probably.
I think Utah beat the fuck out of North Carolina.
I like that Utah quarterback. God, he doesn't look like a quarterback at all, but I like him.
But it just, the Clemson thing of like.
Have you watched them play?
They're terrible.
They're terrible.
You keep having to pull your quarterback to win games.
That's the only reason they beat Syracuse.
Yeah.
Syracuse called the dogs off for some reason and quit being aggressive. And then when it got, push come to shove, you had to bench the starter.
Yeah.
And to get a spark. He's the fucking starter. Why do you need a spark?
And I get why they're trying to push the kid from North Carolina to be, Heisman, and he should get invited, but come on. I mean, come on. The bad thing is I don't think C.J. Stroud deserves the Heisman, but he'll win it as long as he doesn't have a massive fuck, because there's just nobody else.
If Corum has a huge game against the Buckeyes, he'll win it.
Well, that's
the other,
you can't lose against Michigan and win the Heisman. Like, whoever wins that game, that's probably who wins the Heisman.
Probably.
Like, if Corum rushes for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they lose 60-21.
It'd be tough to give it
to get,
Yeah.
Because at that point, Stroud's going to, he threw for.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the Indiana game. By no means did Stroud have a good game, but he threw for 5 touchdowns and 298 yards or whatever. So.
Oh, man, that Corum guy is good. God, he is good.
That's where I used to love when Ohio State used to play defense, because it was always the Wisconsin of like, this guy's rushing for 2,000 yards a year. And
now he rushed for 8.
Yeah. I miss those times Ohio State's defense when a Blake Corum comes in as a stud, then it gets 20 attempts for 43 yards.
Yeah.
Of like, you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
But then now they just get gashed for like Tim Biakabatuka type stuff of like 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. And
oh, man. It's coming down to the wire, though. I mean, we got 2 weeks left.
Yeah. It doesn't seem that way.
I know. It seems like we still have a lot of... I mean, we do technically still have a lot of football to play, but to go to the big stage, I mean, next weekend is the final week of college football, and then you got your championships after that, and then you take a layover. You take 6 weeks off and play Play some games there.
Yeah, play some games after. That's what. I guess the one reason is like if Ohio State wins, like it bothers me because in my mind, like C.J. Stroud winning the Heisman, all I think is Troy Smith.
Yeah.
Wins the Heisman and then comes to play in the national championship game and he gained 15 pounds and wasn't, because he's had to go to all this shit and have like
wasn't focused.
Okay, fuck that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
the Heisman doesn't mean anything because Reggie Bush still didn't have one.
Yeah, which is just
anybody not remember that he's the best player I think I've ever seen in fucking college. That guy was
no shit. I want Nissan to put him in the commercials.
Yeah,
like that'd be great.
It'd be, oh my God, if it was just like a Ring camera. It's just like, hey, who's at the door? And it's just Reggie Bush. And it's like, hey, should we let him in?
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome.
Such a great,
yeah.
Hey, Nissan.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
We know you listen to the show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not driving one of your vehicles, but come on,
I don't even know where you would buy one.
Yeah. But no, that would be awesome. Yeah, like you said, just to have him like, who's there?
Who's that?
Like have everybody who's ever won one like in the living room watching a game. And then you hear the doorbell ringing and like everybody like looks around. It's like, oh, we have everybody. Who the hell could that be?
And I'll tell you what, because I usually, for the most part, you have to, if you're an Ohio State fan or whatever, you're going to be anti-Alabama for some reason or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I tell you what I really like is those Dr. Pepper commercials with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Like, this is my family now.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I fucking like that guy. Uh-huh. Just because the way he was in that commercial, I fucking like that guy.
Oh, what was the, this has nothing to do with games or anything, but the NIL stuff, did you hear that with like Saban and how like that's going to drive him to retire? Did you hear like
because they lost a couple games in fucking overtime.
Exactly. Like I was like, really guys? Like that's after the loss to LSU, this is when it comes out? Like that's not.
Yeah, in like 2015 or 16 or whatever, when he lost 3 games and finished like ranked 13th, we didn't talk about. Oh, is he losing it? He can't compete anymore. I'm like,
yeah, well, the NIL's bothering him.
So
yeah, the NIL's bothering him.
Yeah,
no, it's not. Is he happy with it? No, but he's also the only reason he's not happy with it is because kids who don't play and haven't earned it are getting money. That's the only reason he's unhappy with it. And any coach would feel the same way. Any human would feel
done anything. Yeah. Like he would have a issue with Quinn Ewers.
Yes, he would.
Hey, you're making millions, man. You haven't done a fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't earned it. You have. Yeah. This is college. I still run the show here. This isn't the NFL.
But yeah, that's the thing. Of people said, well, maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe it's time, because there is a lot of that. Maybe it's time to move on. It's like,
why?
He has a bad team because they can't run the ball.
No,
they have their receiver room isn't great right now.
Yeah,
of like. You missed a kick.
Yep.
Okay. And you beat them.
Yeah.
In a 2-point conversion in overtime in Death Valley in a night game.
Yep.
Of like,
come
on.
And Alabama doesn't play night games.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's their losses.
Yeah. And
now if they get torched by Auburn,
that's something else. Yeah. But now like this is one of the worst skill sets of an Alabama team that I've seen since probably Ohio State has beat them. Like, I didn't think Alabama was very good that year. They could run the football. Yeah. But you didn't have any. You had Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, your running backs, they're not playing right now.
That was in their transition to.
Like, B.J. Sims was your quarterback. Like, who? I mean, who's that?
Like, this year, because I've watched a lot of Alabama games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bryce Young is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, if they had Mac Jones this year, they lose 4 or 5 games.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
But Bryce Young is just. The way he runs around the pocket, I mean, the receivers aren't high end like that, but they're still better than anybody else on the field. And if you're going to give them 6 seconds, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bryce Young. The funny thing about just compare the two quarterbacks because that's what everybody does. C.J. Stroud is one massive human being, and Bryce Young is a very small quarterback.
He's like 5'11".
Yeah, like that's going to be like a big talk about here when we come up in the draft here in a couple months. Like that's going to be
and he's not thick. It's
not
like
thick.
Kyler, and I don't think he's not as thick as Kyler.
No,
he's thinner.
Yes, and just like look at his arms. Like he has a very skinny body look, and that's going to be that's when we talk about like we always have that one quarterback come out of some shit school that's like he's better than Bryce Young because he's taller and he's thicker. And it's like he's got a more NFL body.
Yeah,
it's like,
and I'll tell you what, if his fucking hands are like 8 3/4, they're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. He sucks. He sucks.
Yeah.
But he's going to have and I really do feel like this. Either you're going to see it happen where he's obviously going to be taken in the top 5, or there's going to be so much red flags by the media and all that he's going to have like a Jalen Hurts where he's going to fall to the second round to a team that.
No, I think he's going to, like, they need quarterbacks in the NFL. So yes. I think if he fell to 5, I would be shocked.
I agree with you, but that's like, I can see also that happening too, just from his body standpoint.
The one that I could see falling would be CJ Stroud.
I agree. Because now there's talk of that dude from Kentucky like coming up in the draft board, that Levis or
well,
Levitz.
Now the kid from North Carolina is the number 1 guy, and it's like, okay. I mean,
you've seen 1, 2 now. No, one quarterback from a not so good school have some success. That's Josh Allen.
Yeah, and he's the reason they're losing.
Yeah, exactly. His own mistakes are the reason he's losing. Yeah.
What a fucking wild game. Might as well transition in the NFL. We spent enough time on college.
That was amazing.
My God.
That might be, in my own eyes, that might be the craziest 2 minutes of football that I think I've seen.
Of how do you not get in from a half a yard?
Yeah, he didn't even
That is crazy.
He didn't even try to extend the ball. Like, the game's online. If you fumble, no big deal.
Yeah,
you lose.
he had it at his waist.
Yes.
Of like, hey.
Yeah, he didn't move his feet. Like, he just expected
to get
lean
forward.
Yes,
push
he just expected, exactly, to get pushed in. Ah, man, I was so shocked by that. As soon as the play happened, I was like, he didn't get in. He didn't move. If you watch him as the ball's being snapped, he just goes like limp.
Yeah,
and he's like, push me in, guys.
Well, and then the first snap, you fumble in the end zone, and they recover for a touch, not even a safety, to where they have to try to come back and kick a field goal, a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
And then you get the ball back, and you march down the field with a ball that wasn't even caught, that they didn't, hey, all reviews are in the booth.
Yeah.
Well, they're in a, like, maybe speed that up, like, just stop the game.
Yeah.
Didn't catch the ball, so now it's in overtime, and then he throws a pick.
Yeah.
In the end zone. It
was a bad
Patrick
ball.
Peterson's phenomenal.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been thrown.
No.
It was an underthrown slant. Like, what are you doing?
Right before I left, he was on McAfee's show, and they were talking about that. And they brought the film up, and it was breaking it down of like, they came to this 2x2. I know they only like to run this many routes, and this guy's going to be a clear out guy, which means he's going to throw to this guy.
Is this Butler breaking it down, or
no? This is Patrick Peterson.
Oh, Patrick Peterson. Okay.
And he's like, well, D-Bud asked the question, they brought it up, and he started going through it, and then they brought the film up and started showing it. He goes, and I got my eyes in the, they're in the zone. I got my eyes in the backfield the whole time. And then they play it through. He undercuts it, picks it, and then runs out and, like, sits down. He goes, and Pat goes, when, like, hey, you dropping down like that, taking a knee. He goes, when did it go? Oh, shit, the game's over. And he goes, When did you know the game was over and to drop down? He goes, as soon as he threw it.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Because he was like, it was just like, as soon as he threw that ball, I knew it was over. Of like, because he was undercutting of like.
It's Patrick Peterson.
And it was a bad throw.
Yeah.
It was like 5 yards short.
Yeah. It's like that. It's Patrick Peterson, guys. Like, that's not for. It's like a few weeks ago, Russell Wilson trying that on Stephon Gilmore. It's still Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how bad the Colts are. Yeah. Like you said, all Josh Allen. Like the fumble, like that's a routine snap.
Yeah.
All you need to do is fall forward.
Yeah. And
that's it. And the game's over.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, very wild. Very wild game. Man.
And then here's the other one, because we mentioned him 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is unbelievable how much better the Cardinals looked with Colt McCoy.
No shit.
The offense ran.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I know it was against the Rams, but they still have dudes on their defense, though.
Yeah.
Most of their issues happen to be their offensive, like, but it's like.
Again, we talk about it a lot. He runs the offense. He doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to do anything else. He just runs the offense. And my Lord, they looked just so much smoother. You didn't see how. Okay, this was the first week you didn't see any fucking bickering and bitching of videos on Twitter pop up of.
Yeah.
That's the first time.
Yeah.
in 3 weeks where you didn't see that?
That's the only, and I haven't seen any clips of it because I'm not watching the end season.
Yeah, me either.
Hard Knocks with them, but because they're not going to show it because you have to have approval and shit of everything. So it's got to be like they have to hate each other. I mean, it seems like 100%. They hate each other.
It seems like everybody hates everybody.
Yeah.
Like Hopkins is walking off the field. It's like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What's your deal? Like, what are you seeing? I'm open. Throw me I'm fucking
just
DeAndre Hopkins.
Throw the fucking ball, I'll get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that Hail Mary you threw where there's like 5 defenders and I snatched it between all of them?
That's what I do.
That's me.
That's what I do, guy. Yeah, I do feel like they all just bicker and hate each other. And I don't know why. I do know why. Kingsbury has no control over those guys. Did you see the clip? It was a Hard Knocks clip, but I saw it on Twitter. That's where I see most of my clips. He calls the offense after Hopkins and Kyler Murray have all their scuffle away. He calls the offense, the whole offense, and just tries to do like a motivating. Nobody's looking him in the eyes.
Yeah. They don't have any respect.
He has no respect for him. No respect at all. It is crazy. It's just weird in that situation. Like, the guys who you go to battle with every single day don't have enough respect for you to look you in the eye.
Yeah.
While you're just trying. You weren't even yelling. You were just saying, hey, guys, let's, stick to the plan. Here's what we're doing. That's all you were doing. And they didn't have enough respect for you to look you in the eye. It's crazy.
That is. Well, that ties in with that they brought up, because obviously all the hate that Jeff Saturday got for taking the job, like people wouldn't take the fucking job. But it's like, yeah, but like, seems like it's melting down there. But it's okay for Cliff Kingsbury to have that job since he got fired in college when he couldn't win with Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then got hired
right away.
But that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are idiots. I did not expect Bill Cowher to go off like that.
And he's a fucking poser.
Yes, he is.
Of like, I'll show them.
Uh-huh.
Could have gave it to my buddy that's been fired from 3 fucking places and is a terrible head coach. Exactly. He could have done it. I was like, okay.
Who did he name?
He's on the staff. He's been fired 3 times.
Yeah.
Of like, it's like won like 2 fucking games as a coach. Of like, hey. It's like, so you're advocating that nobody get a chance and only hire guys that are in the coaching carousel that get fired every 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what you're fighting for.
Uh-huh.
And it's an interim job.
Yeah.
It's not the head coach. They still have to go through the whole process.
He's not the coach next year, guys.
Yeah.
He's not. I guarantee he doesn't even apply for it.
No.
I guarantee
that. If he wins out.
If he wins out,
I mean, that's different.
He might,
but that's one of those things of like, hey, they lost their head coach and their offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
How many coaches you think are on the staff that can actually take that job? And how do you know that one of them didn't turn the fucking job down?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
hey, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I don't want this.
Yeah,
I want a career. This is.
I'm putting my house up and I'm getting ready to move on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that was the clips that come out. I think it was from like I Am Athlete or whatever, or the Pivot or something. But like the Josh McDaniel thing, it was.
Was it Brandon Marshall?
Brandon Marshall.
God, he hates him.
Oh my God! But that was so funny when he was going over that of like, we're 6-0 and we are just everything he says fucking happens in the game and we're doing this and then like this happens and then like we start losing. It's like, oh, we're not good. We're cheaters.
Yeah, exactly.
We were just cheating. That's how we knew.
Yeah.
Like, and now ever since he got caught cheating, he's 6-24. Of like.
Yeah.
Because that was another one of like, oh, yeah, because he deserves to be there. I mean, cheater in the league deserved that job. Yeah. Nobody said a fucking word about that.
Nobody said a thing. I remember, obviously being a Broncos fan, I remember all that situation. And
see, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Because it was like.
The cheating thing kind of got swept under the rug.
Like it didn't.
Because Denver fired him immediately in the season. So it did. I mean, it got swept under the rug, but it was a situation like they were awful and they're beating Dallas, they're beating New England, they're beating the Saints. Like it's like, why the hell? Like this, we're not a very good. We have fucking Kyle Orton as quarterback.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be beating anybody. And the he now has ruined, I can't say he ruined it, but Brandon Marshall now is labeled as a hothead that nobody can deal with because of that situation. He gets traded to Miami, ends up having whatever. He was a hell of a fucking receiver.
He was in Miami.
Yeah. But still, like all the backlash that came out of that, it's like he caused all of that. Yeah. All of that riff was him because he's cheating.
Goes back to Belichick, gets washed with a couple Super Bowls.
Yep. Everybody thinks he knows what he's doing. I don't like the guy. But talking about my team, with Kyle Orton a quarterback, we were averaging more points than with fucking Russell Wilson. I texted you that stat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they just score 18 points a game, they're 8-1.
That is absurd.
Their defense is giving up 16.5 points per game.
Well, and that's what I texted you.
Yeah.
He has 12 bathrooms in his house. He's thrown for 7 touchdowns through 10 weeks.
Yep.
Andy Dalton has thrown for more. And there's another topic of conversation, too. We'll get to that after we get to the. It's so bad in Denver. Like, it was struggle. I was flipping back, and I'll flip to that game when the other ones are in commercial break of, like, this is just awful. I mean, just awful.
Horrible to watch. Horrible to watch. I love watching our defense play football so much.
Yeah.
I do. They are everywhere. And the Gregory not being back, the other 2 backup pass rushers, not having Bradley Chubb was very adamant because all of basically his backups are now hurt still.
Yeah.
We weren't getting there with a 4-man rush. That's given Tannehill time to do stuff. Okay, whatever there, but it's like we held Derrick Henry to 50 yards rushing.
Yeah.
It's like the lowest in like 5 years.
And held him to what, 13 points or 14, whatever it was? What was the final?
17? 17-10.
17-10.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
17-10.
Defense doing their job.
Yep. Now,
you're a week or so away from where you just start getting blown out now.
Yeah.
Because you're about at that where the defense is like, hey, okay,
we're tired of it.
My leg's a little hurt, so I'm just not going to play this fucking week.
We didn't have. There was 6 backups playing on Sunday on defense. Oh, yeah, but you're right. They're playing all the goddamn time. They still have to play the Chiefs twice. They still have to play the Chargers again. That's just division.
Yeah.
And then they have the Ravens coming up. I mean, it's not a good one.
Well, I mean, if it goes this way, you can draft a quarterback.
That's the funny thing. Like, I think that's a possibility.
It should be. Because that's one of those things of the one thing you can do if you draft a quarterback, you got him cheap for 5 years until you can cut Russ,
Yeah, until his cap's low enough where they cut him.
I would love that. Just as a baller move from the richest owner.
Cut him now.
Just fucking cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Of like,
that'd be awesome.
I'll pay you and we'll take the cap hit. We're going to cut you. We'll restructure your contract or whatever so our cap hits go down.
Yep.
Then just go somewhere else, unrestricted.
Yep.
It'd be interesting because obviously there's always something in that, hey, if you go get $50 million a year somewhere else and we don't owe it to you.
Uh-huh.
But it'd be interesting what his offers would be.
Not much. Not after this year.
Yeah.
Not much.
And after all the shit coming out of hey, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a piece of shit. Nobody's like, you're the only, I can't think of a team that would want that.
Like, obviously he'd get signed.
Yes.
Like Carolina would sign him. Fucking Indianapolis would sign him.
Probably.
But it'd be like, like Indianapolis can't. Like, you can't try that again.
No, you can't.
Like, just keep on.
No, that would be like the greatest thing ever if the new owner's like, I own this team now. We're getting rid of you. Let's hit the road.
Yeah.
Russ, you're cut.
Because he was traded before the owner, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because you lost.
That's why I feel like Hackett's fired. He's earned his way to not have a job next year. But again, this is a new owner, and we see it all the time in the NFL. The owner wants to be a part of the new hire.
Yeah. But, I mean, that'd just be so... I mean, you gave up a bunch of first-round picks, but... Oh, yeah, you don't have a first-round pick, so never mind.
We do. We have a first-round pick this year. We traded Chubb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whose pick do you have?
The Niners. It's
okay, so you're not getting any, so you don't have anything.
Not a quarterback in the first round now. Nope. That would be
basically you're just...
That would be like
you're
waiting...
just making Seattle win more.
100%. I think we're giving Seattle now the 5th pick. Like they might have the 5th or 6th overall pick.
Yeah.
With our record.
Yeah.
Oh. On a team that's trending upwards.
Yeah.
Now they're able to do their offense. Now it's Seattle. They'll probably fucking trade that thing away for more 2nd round picks because that just seems like what they do. Or they'll just keep trading back till they're out of the 1st round.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean now as a team on the uptrend, they have a lot of young stars now. Geno Smith obviously is not young, but he's on the uptrend. You get offensive line. Now you start to they've won the trade by a landslide.
Oh yeah,
by a landslide. And I don't think they can say what they want, on the media and stuff like that. They didn't know it was going to be this bad.
No,
they can't. We saw it coming. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody saw this bad. Did we think it was going to be, like undefeated? No, but nobody thought it was going to be this fucking bad.
And nobody thought, like, I didn't think Seattle was going to be terrible.
No, I didn't either.
But they weren't going to win. Like they weren't going to be in competition for that division.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, they are.
Now they are, yeah.
But it's one of those things of like, yeah, they're probably going to finish last in the division, but they're still going to win like 7 games or, they're going to get in that area of like, hey, you were good enough to just kind of get that middle of the road pick, that you can't do anything with it. And
yeah, it's it's just an odd situation. And he's got to feel, as much as he wants to say all like the cool shit, he's still a fucking piece of shit. He always, every fucking quarterback says, oh, it's going to start with me. I got to play better. Fucking do it then.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
You've been saying it for 10 weeks now. Fucking do something about it. It's if I'm a defender on that team, I have to just be like, what the fuck is going on?
That was a weird one that came out too, and they were talking about with Geno and stuff, with the offensive play calling and stuff, and just, the offense running how it's designed to run.
Yes.
Just the fact of them saying like, well, he wears a wristband and that's easier.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell refused to wear a wristband.
Yeah.
I was like, that is such a petty fucking thing. And I guarantee you it's because just the way it looks,
That reminds me of like when you go to a restaurant and the waiter doesn't write your shit down. Oh, I can just memorize it.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're going to fuck something up.
But it's like listening to guys talk about that is like, hey, that offense, like those play calls are like 5-second play calls.
Mm-hmm.
Of like me saying 37.
Yeah,
and then or saying the whole fucking play, and you go ahead, I can catch it all, repeat it.
Yeah.
Of like, well, now we're at 15 seconds. We're not out of the huddle yet.
Mm-hmm.
Of like,
yep. No, I'm with you.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Now he's wearing one, and then Denver, fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
He is.
God, I hate that team.
Well, you don't hate the team.
No,
you hate that guy.
I hate that guy, and I was not a. I think we all knew why Hackett was hired to try and get Aaron Rodgers. Why did you? I would be even more mad if the defense sucked. Like, why would you fire Fangio? They're leading the league in penalties. They average 9 penalties a game.
Well, they fired Fangio because they needed Hackett because they thought they were getting Rodgers.
And I know why they fired Fangio. And the defense has kept up. It kept where they're at. But you didn't try to help that guy. You didn't never try to get a quarterback. The biggest one that I'm really mad at now, you fired the best offensive line coach in the business.
Yeah.
To average 9 holding, the 9 penalties, 8 of them are on offense.
Yeah.
They're averaging 1 penalty a game on defense.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like that's unheard of.
Especially in this day and age.
That's unheard of. And it's
such a train wreck. I love a good train wreck, especially when it's in that fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going down as one of the historically worst seasons in the Broncos history.
And one of the historically greatest calls ever. That I've been screaming this for 3 fucking years.
I know it.
And the rest of the world finally came around.
Yeah.
The fucking.
What about your team?
Well, they didn't play last week.
I know, but I know. Are they? Yeah,
if they can run the ball, they'll be all right. But they lose to bad teams.
Do they play Pittsburgh this week?
Yeah.
And it is absolutely amazing how much better a linebacker makes that team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Now, I don't think the Saints are that good anyway, but just how much more confident they played with.
Yeah. Yeah.
The TJ Watt.
Mika didn't play.
No. TJ Watt comes back 1 week. the opposite linebacker wins Defensive Player of the Week because everybody was so focused on that guy. That guy had like 8 tackles, a TFL, 2 sacks, fumble recovery.
That's one of those. I was thinking that on driving over here. I was just kind of going through the year in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is just think about the games.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the Bengals could be like 8-1 right now.
Yeah.
Because they've just lost on some. I mean, they get blown out by the Browns. But like you missed 2 kicks against the Steelers.
Yep.
You fuck it down the road in Dallas. Like it's just like you're finding ways to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're 5-4 playing the Steelers, which I assume they'll get beat.
Probably.
I just think it's one of those. And when Jamar's not on the field, and he was still on crutches this week, so he ain't playing. It's a different team, and I don't think you're not going to run the ball on the Steelers
not with
like
him.
you did.
No, not with him back. And because that would have been what he went out of the game at halftime, right? That week, yeah.
Of that's just in the Bengals, they're not making the playoffs. Their schedule is absurd.
They have that's the division winner. It's the number 1 schedule.
They haven't won a game in their division.
Nope.
So so they got Steelers. Got to play the Browns again. Got to play the Ravens again.
Mm-hmm.
Got to play the Bills. Got to play the Chiefs. Got to play the Colts. Got to play.
They already played the Titans because they won it.
I don't think so.
Because they won it, so I think they have to play it. Because don't you play all the other number 1 winners?
I don't know. I don't know the scheduling breakdown.
I thought. Well, they played. They played Steelers on Sunday night, but it's just a 4:00 game.
Which is weird. It got flexed. It got flexed out.
Oh, for Chiefs Chargers? Why?
Yeah.
The Chargers suck.
Well, because the Steelers aren't good, and the Bengals have been.
Yeah, so they play Steelers, Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Bucks, Patriots, Bills, Ravens.
Yeah.
If they could win half of those games, that would be impressive.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Incredibly difficult.
That is.
Like, you have to beat the Steelers, you have to beat the Browns, you have to beat the Ravens. Now you're 8-4.
They can beat the Titans. You
can beat. You can see how they can get to 9.
Yeah,
but you also see how they can only get to 7.
Oh, for sure.
Because the way they've been playing in division this year, man, I don't see them. And they're probably they're going to get the Browns with Deshaun. Back, I think.
Yeah, I mean that defense is atrocious.
For the first time.
Yeah. Oh man.
But there's some mental block there against the Browns where it's just like, hey, why do we keep getting fucking tallywhacked against these guys? I mean,
how do I do this? How do I beat the Browns?
By saying that, I mean the Browns have been putting their penis on their foreheads. That's what tallywhacked means now. So I just made that.
I mean, that makes sense.
So it is.
It makes sense, especially for Deshaun. Yeah. Oh,
Ramon Tao.
Yeah, Ramon Tao.
Yeah, I don't have. It's like I'm not down on the Bengals of just like, dude, that's a fucking murderer's row on the back end.
No, that is. I am. Now I know I shouldn't be, but I am extremely excited for the 49ers. Like they're good.
My only thought.
They're good
after these last few weeks. Hey, and to anybody, if you weren't listening, I fucking told you last week.
Well, what? Told me?
Play Justin Fields because he's against Detroit.
Oh, yeah. That brings me up.
I told everybody that.
That brings me up with Justin Fields. I love that he's playing better.
Yeah.
They got beat by the fucking Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't.
And it's on him. That pick 6 to Okudah was.
God. Oh, my God. Like, yeah, okay, it's cool that he's running the football like he is. But, and it's cool because he never ran the football at Ohio State. Like, that's what people are shocked that's like, he's able to do that.
Yeah, but you knew he could.
Oh, he ran a 4.540. Like, we know he can scoot, but, oh, my God. Get off. His hype train is now high, okay? But he lost them the game.
Yeah.
That's my only That's my only issue.
They're a bad team.
They're a bad team, but it's cool that he's running the football.
Yeah.
It's great. He's scrambling. You're losing.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I watched that whole game. He's the only thing on that team.
1,000%.
I'm also not. Hey, wins and losses aren't a quarterback fucking stat. Everybody says that, but it's not. It's just not.
There are other things that happen that are not on him.
He threw a pick six, and it was horrendous, but their defense also got fucking burnt by the fucking Lions. So,
and I get that. And
you're a defensive team.
Yeah, that's
basically the way I see it. The 3 weeks that he's been playing well, they've scored over 30 points a game, and they fucking lost them.
Yeah.
So, hey, just like the reverse of your team of like,
yeah, exactly.
If our offense gets to 30, we should like be winning some of these games. Chicago fucking Bears defense.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know. With that team, it's fun to watch just because I want to see what he's going to do.
Yeah. And I want to see him have success as a Buckeye.
I don't even know what he was trying to do on that. Like that was just like I don't know what your thought process was there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that is that long touchdown run, the fact that he was pulling away from Jeff Okudah.
Oh, I know.
That was fucking Jeff Okudah. He ain't slow.
No.
Of like, Jesus Christ. I mean, like.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a Lamar.
No.
He throws better than Lamar.
He does, but he has also nobody to throw the ball.
There is. The way, if you don't watch the whole game, and I went in for that because obviously I picked him and he performed for me, and I also Komet in there too, and then he got that knee to the thigh.
Yeah.
Dude. The fact that I didn't get in the money, and I think I would have when I don't, if you'd even seen that play, the last drive for the Bears, Komet was coming across the center and Okudah was, and he caught that knee to the thigh, and then the pass goes. If you seen where the pass landed, there was fucking nobody there.
He just catches it and
he might go for 50 or 60 yards. Of like, and I win if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Or I don't win, but I win money.
Yeah.
And then the fact of, did Clyde Edwards-Helaire
die?
Did he fucking hit on the owner's daughter?
Yeah,
I mean, or
I don't know.
Because he didn't even get a fucking touch.
Nope.
Of like, because the amount of money I had to spend on that running back position was a coin flip between running backs for the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Poncho
this guy ran some less because you're playing that every other week game of like, all right, we'll get Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He'll get 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
But it's a Chiefs thing.
Yeah,
they like one running back and they're going to stick with that guy. And like next week, Edwards-Helaire might have 15 carries for 200 yards. It's weird, and it kind of feels like because it's not the first week like against the whoever they played 2 weeks ago. Where it was supposed to be a big game. Oh, the Titans on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. He had no carries.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, so are you wanting to trade him? Is that why you're not giving me a carries? Has he pissed?
Because we're past the trade deadline, so you can't. But, that was my little bitch of like, hey, I should have been in the money again, and I was I don't remember who was in front of me, but it was like a couple points or whatever, and I have a 0 on the fucking board.
Yeah,
of like, okay,
fuck you guys.
I was on the right path. I mean, I should win every week. I'm better than that. But back to the Chicago thing of like, I watched that full game just because I just wanted to see it.
Yeah,
electrifying.
Yeah.
You see the highlights, that's what he can do, and then you see the low light, that pick six, okay. And we'll give you, I'll give you rookie type shit because you're on your second fucking, I mean.
Yeah.
It is so fucking awful. Like, they are so fucking, like, he is running for his fucking life on every fucking snap.
Here's how, and I thought about this watching.
And I mean, if you thought Joe Burrow got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
It is not even fucking close to what happens to Justin Fields. And that's not just to defend Justin Fields of like, it is, how the fuck is that a professional offensive line?
Yeah.
And then you go back to their draft of, you got rid of your best receiver and then you just did nothing. And you got defensive guys of which, where the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Of what is this?
Yeah. This is my, future prediction. This is what I kind of see how Fields' career goes. I feel like him and almost Tannehill kind of have the same career path trajectory. Tannehill, how many freaking coordinators in Miami? How many head coaches? The one head coach just says, this guy cannot fucking play. Goes to a team who, fits a style of his and then has some success. That's what I really feel like Fields is on the track to do. Like, Chicago's, before his contract's up, there's going to be another head coach in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
There may be another coordinator next year.
Guaranteed.
And
well, he'll probably get this one out because you've actually opened it up and say, well, just let the guy run.
Yeah. And that might be true, but he's going to have another head coach, offensive coordinator before his contract's up.
Absolutely.
And then he's not going to get a second contract because you're a terrible team.
Yeah.
And then he's going to hopefully he goes somewhere that's halfway decent and then can use him. But my God, they do nothing for that kid.
Well, the one thing that you would hope is before it's over, if they're transitioning, like you might get phone calls on him of like, hey, you want to trade this guy? Like,
yeah,
because it's tough to fucking watch. Of like, how are you a professional? Like, how are you putting this on the field?
Mm-hmm.
Where is your $210 million? Show me that, because he's on a rookie deal.
Uh-huh.
Where did this money go?
Yeah,
because it's not there. No. I mean, it is terrible.
Well, let's go ahead and do this. How bad the organization is.
Yeah,
you paid Roquan Smith before the season.
Yeah,
and then you trade him before the deadline. Just fucking trade him then. What was your thought process on that? People were going to give him the same amount before the season because he's just as fucking good as he was now. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing there?
And that was, oh God.
You don't re-sign Akeem Hicks, who was kind of him and Roquan Smith, kind of the identity of the defense. Your inside stud run stopper. Get rid of him. You don't replace him with anybody. I mean, and you're a defensive head coach.
That was, and we'll go over this of like kind of where you started, and that's why I say like wins aren't a quarterback stat.
Uh-huh.
Over like the last 3 games, like he's thrown like 12 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Who?
Fields.
Yeah.
Has ran for like 4 and rushed for, he's probably in 3 games, he's probably thrown for 800 yards or 700 yards.
Yeah.
Rushed for 500 and some yards.
Mm-hmm.
Threw either 11 or 12 touchdowns and 2 picks, and has rushed for 2 or 3 touchdowns of like, and they've lost those games. That's why, like, when people say, well, you can't fucking win. Well, what's he supposed to fucking do? What else is he supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. But I get where it's coming. I do. I get where he's coming from, and he is playing the best football of his career these last 3 weeks. But it's just that it's like, man, you guys are so bad. You're so bad where people who like him are starting to be like, what the hell's going on? Yeah.
Well, just what's that with that franchise of like,
oh yeah,
what are you doing?
They have fallen off. Like there was a time where, like when they had Jake Cutler, they were competing. Then when they drafted, everybody thought they were stupid when they drafted Trubisky, but he wins the first season.
Yeah,
the first 2 years he goes to the playoffs, and then it's like you didn't do anything else to help them out.
No,
you only got worse.
Defensive stuff. Mm-hmm. And then your defense can't carry you that far. You have to have some sort of offense because they're going to score points in the NFL.
Yep. You had a rookie running back that year and an Allen Robinson. That's it. You didn't try to do anything else. You have 12 tight ends on your goddamn roster. Yeah. This is the first time Kmet's had targets the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Was against the Lions.
And he's a monster.
Yeah, he is. That organization is horrid.
It's a shame because it was... Dude, the first fucking play of the game, he pulls it and runs for 25 yards of like, well, that's how this will start. Yeah. Because I'm obviously I watched because I picked him and I knew I'd said that on the air about how bad Detroit's defense is, which they are. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, all right, well, this paid off. And then they march down and throw a touchdown to Kmet. I'm like, puh. Yeah. And then he gets another 40-yard touch, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is... Yeah. I think between those two, I had like 65 points. I was like, all right, well, we're in there.
We're in business. We're in business.
Couldn't cash in the WideSide thing. I won $10 in the $1 million one with that lineup.
How'd your Monday go? We were texting about that. Did you end up cashing in on that
one? No, the one that was on top did not. That of the 5 that I said, it was one of the other ones that
you would have cashed in the big one.
Oh, I'm sure. I had. Well, I can tell you.
I won 20 points, or I won $20,
and how many points you put up?
70 or 70 something, or no, 50 something. I think because I think 71 won it.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not. If I remember correctly, it was not a whole lot of points. No, I had 71. Sorry, 90 something.
I was going to say, because I had 72.
98 won it.
Yeah. I had 72.
I had 71 and won $20. So
I had 72 and 98 won it. And click on your winner.
Okay.
I'm going to read off my winner's lineup, and I assume it's the same. Top spot, MVP, Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders defense.
I did not have the defense.
Not for you. I'm talking about the guy who won it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were talking about comparing ours.
I don't give a shit about yours.
I won money.
You didn't win.
You're right. Hurts, yes. Yes, Commanders defense, yes.
All right. McLaurin.
Yep.
Sly.
Yep.
Gibson.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? Of two different ones, and there was a 98. There was a 3-way tie with that same lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also
who won it? What was the name?
Mr. Jinx.
Okay, no.
NYJ247.
No, he wasn't in he's not even in the top 10.
All right, and then a Breda Sane.
Nope. No.
So I mean, that's just interesting. Like,
dude scored 98 points and won $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
God.
Like, you feel like you should win
every fucking week. I do. I know we talk about it, I do a lot better on the individual ones than I do the big ones, but man.
Because I just went in a cheap one because I'm trying things out because I'm not good at those. So I've been doing cheap ones. So I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did you do like
6.
dollars or 50 cents?
No. I just real cheap, like nickel ones. Because I ran out of, because in my mind, now this comes back to the patience thing. I was going to do a nickel, and I was going to put like 100 lineups in just to see.
Yeah.
Because actually, if you'd win that, solo, it's like $800.
Uh-huh.
I get to 6.
Couldn't do it anymore.
But I did, it was like 72 points, 65 points, and then 55, 53,
It's crazy if you don't have that multiplier, how bad you do.
Yeah, you have to have it.
You have to have the multiplier.
Because and that was my multiplier on the one that I had 72 points was Devontae Smith.
Okay.
So I had Smith, Sanders, Gibson, Robinson, and Hurts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Smith, he got hurt and had a fumble. And those are killers, man. You get a receiver that has a fucking fumble. If you lose 3 points, dude, you might as well have been on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was I came up with that on Sunday, and I didn't have that idea till later because I said, hey, they got a nickel one of because my interest of like the theory.
The more you put in, the more you're
just mixing shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you see, it was like a max of 150 entries in this one. I was like, well, the guys winning it are doing that.
Yes, exactly.
So I just wanted to see, and I just didn't have the patience to. I just fucking couldn't do it. I just couldn't fucking do it.
That makes sense, though.
Because I have one where the multiplier was Washington's defense was my multiplier, and then you do things like that, just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, that's what killed me is the Gainwell guy for the Eagles had a huge game last week. I was like, oh, he's cheap. I'll throw him in there 1 point. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it. I thought that was like because everybody.
What was you in? Was you in a $5 one or?
No, I was in the big $9 one.
Oh, is that what the?
Yeah,
okay.
that's the $100,000 winners, the $9 one. But yeah, I was like, okay, every week I see there's always that one guy that nobody fucking like thinks of, and I'm like, okay, this guy had a big week. He's cheap, probably. That might be my guy. Like if he has. Even if he just scores a bullshit 1-yard touchdown, he may have, he have some catches and things like that. That happens.
I can't on a single game. I can't get into the $9 one because I'm not going to put more than one entry in.
The only good thing about the $9 one is if you hit the money, you're doubling up automatically. Like the lowest one's $18.
Yeah. Which I get, but like I'm so bad of I'm picking like fucking 38 points.
That's the single games are the only reason I haven't had to put money in since right at the start of the season I put money in, but
but that was and I'll try it again tomorrow for the single game. I'll
that one's a
maybe
tough
I can
one.
get the fucking
that
10.
One's a tough one because I've already looked at it.
Yeah.
It's the Packers and the Titans and everybody like Rodgers and Henry are like 17-5 and 15-5.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have any money for I only can pick one of those. I don't have any money for anybody else.
But that's one of those ones of like...
I'm going to pick Mercedes Lewis.
Putting... Put 40 lineups in, I got a fucking $1 invested of I just want to see what it, how it breaks down. How many cashings can you get? How many...
There was one last year where I did the big one.
Yeah.
And however it worked out, both quarterbacks were cheap, and I threw both quarterbacks on there with the running back as my multiple. I won like $55.
Yeah.
Because I was able to, however it worked out, I don't even remember the fucking two teams, but I'm just like, well, that's weird. How the hell can I afford? But that was when kickers were only like $7,500. Now they're like $9,500.
$9,000 for a kicker. Of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, that's what like I do in the $1 million one of like always. Like if I have a guy that scores a touchdown early, and I mean early, like the first play of the game goes for a touchdown, I always click on the leaderboard just to see if my,
if I shot up
like,
there real
I'm going to
fast.
screen grab this. If I is like, look, I'm leading. I'm like, now I'm going to finish out of the money, but I'm leading.
So I don't know if I ever told you this. Last year, Brady sends me a screenshot of one of the entrance ones that he does. He's winning $2,500.
Yeah.
With the fourth quarter happening.
Yeah.
He's winning 25, and he's like, oh my God, look at this. The Bucks were beating the Bears so bad that he had Brady, Evans, and Fournette. All of them sat the fourth quarter, and he ended up, I think he won, ended up still getting $500, but.
Yeah, but you just get passed by everybody.
Yeah, like if he had those three still playing, like he like $2,500, I'm like, what the fuck? That's so cool.
Well, that was weird. Like when I texted you that, literally I was 3 3.75 points out of first place, and I was in 12,000th. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
My God, yeah.
That's a tough one on like those, like the single game ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get one guy that wins 100. Like it's always a tie.
Yeah.
Of like,
yeah.
Hey, the winner gets $100,000. Then you look at it, it's like everybody got $500. I'm just like, Jesus Christ!
There's 12,000 people who had 98 points. Like, fuck, it could have been one of them.
But like to me, that is just the same as the big one of like I can't like the week I scored 2 weeks ago and I had 160 somewhere. Like I could see how to get to 200 because just some adjustments and guys that I actually looked at but didn't pick.
Yeah.
But I can't see how to get to 230.
Yeah.
And like putting up 70, I can't see how to get to 98.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't.
Yeah.
And it seems like you got to be pushing 100, right, to win those.
Yeah. Like Sly hits a 58-yard field goal.
Yeah.
It's like his furthest ever in his career.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'll pick a kicker. It seems like a kicker kind of game.
Yeah.
And why didn't you pick the Eagles kick? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's like, okay, I picked the right kicker that week.
That's one of those ones of like, I have to look at how you can actually just start working on lineups now.
Yeah.
And just start
throwing them in.
Because that's the tough thing is, like, I have to put them in that day because I need to know who the fuck is playing.
Yeah.
Because if I put in 50 entries and I start doing it on, like, well, say if it's just on Sunday single games or from Monday night and I start doing it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then, like, I got to go in and try to, so-and-so's not playing. I got to go try to change these lineups. And you're at zero. And your gaps are like, well, this guy was $6,000. Now he's not playing. And my next guy is $4,000 or $12,000.
Yeah,
of like,
I have to rearrange my whole lineup. Yeah. I know what you mean. It is tough.
The one that I never got, I've seen one before where one guy was in a 3-way tie for first place with himself.
I was
like, what? How the fuck?
Fuck you.
Fuck yeah, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
You felt so confident you entered it 3 times with the same fucking lineup?
Fucking prick. I hate that guy. I don't even know him.
Yeah.
God.
I think just one time I like, obviously, it'd be like the, like being verified with like blue check marks and shit. Nah, that was a whole fucking shit show that happened on Twitter. But I just think it'd be funny to like win something like that and not tell anybody. And then when I enter the WideSide thing and have like that, like, hey, this guy's won some fucking money. And then just keep losing on ours.
Yeah. This guy, he sucks. Oh, you wanna do some pick'ems?
Yeah, let's do some pick'ems.
Get a bit chilly. I also am wearing shorts, so it could also be the part of the problem.
That's 100% of the problem, buddy.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it is. Last year, one of the times it was really cold, I think I had shorts and Hey Dudes on, and I don't know if I had socks on. It was a big
You were
mistake.
fucking Hey Dudes?
I love Hey Dudes.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're comfy.
I've never had them.
You would hate them. As much as you were on your feet, like you...
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that'd be something
saying,
just to wear.
I know, but I still think that you... Because I know how much that you wear boots a lot.
Yeah.
Like they feel like you're wearing nothing. I feel like it would bother you.
Oh, Like they're not clunky enough for me.
Yeah.
I need a clunky shoe.
You need a clunky shoe. You need to have some weight on your feet.
I'll wear Sperry's and shit, but I assume they're less than Sperry's.
Yeah. Like the ones I have is like woven mesh. Like it's not. I don't even call it. It's just a weird material.
Just like a lightweight kind of. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I mean, it's just all I think about, and I don't even know. Like it was a Nickelodeon show called Hey Dude.
Yeah.
Of like that's what I think about every time I hear that. I'm like,
hey Arnold,
what a fucking weirdo wearing Hey Dudes with the cowboy boots.
Yeah,
because it was like a ranch.
Exactly.
They fucking woven cowboy boots made out of fucking yarn, fucking super yarn. There's only one person that listening to this that's gonna get that reference. He's probably giggling about it.
Yeah, probably is. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start you out real hot and heavy here. Okay, let's go with the Browns at the Bills. The Browns are plus 7.5 with a potential of 3 to 6 feet of snow coming on Sunday. The under.
That is such a. Well, because when
it's shocking
when
that
I seen that, I'm like, "Fuck, are we getting snow this weekend?" I'm like, "No,
nope." It's still 41.5 points as the over.
Yeah,
like that's wow, crazy.
Give me Buffalo. I don't know what to do with that fucking pick.
I know.
I mean,
but the snow is like 3 to 6, like not inches, like feet.
But I think it's supposed to end on Saturday.
Okay,
like the field will be clean by the time.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you remember that? Like, it's probably been like 10 or 12 years. I assume
it's a 1:00 game.
Yeah. Do you remember that like 10 or 12 years ago with the snow with the Browns and the Bills?
Oh yeah,
like where it was like 6-3 and you couldn't see the field goal go through the thing. Yeah, that was cool.
So I think now we'll see how it. Obviously, it's going to change by the time it hits Sunday. But like right now, it's scheduled to the bulk of it happens Saturday during the Buffalo's college game.
Yeah.
But like it's supposed to tail off overnight. So like
the field's going to be
clean.
Yes. But 3 to 6 feet.
But it's one of those ones of I want to see the game while it's snowing like that. Now, if I get a feeling like there might be some dusting snow happening, but it's like you're not going to know that it happened.
If Ohio had a 3 to 6 feet snow prediction, there would be no food in the grocery stores tonight.
That is but Buffalo, it's it's a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is a weird thing like that, how that lake effect works of like, I had a buddy of mine that was from here and he lives in, I think he's retired now, but it was like he worked for a mobile company and like one of them's based out of Buffalo. So he got transferred to Buffalo and he came back. He's like, dude, they measure snow in feet there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you don't get like, we're like, hey, we're going to get like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, better think about it. He's like, no, it's like, hey, we're going to get 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. No, 1 to 3 feet.
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
He's like, you
do.
You're used to it. Like they'll get rid of it. And like, well, that's pretty fucked up.
That's fucked up.
Jets at Patriots. Jets are getting 3.5.
Patriots minus the 3.5.
Super confident in you. Bill Belichick's a terrible coach.
Yeah, well,
and I'm just saying that because who was that? I can't remember who it was.
Sean McCoy.
Yeah, he's just like, you just want to act like he's the greatest coach ever, like that Tom Brady had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Because without Tom Brady, he's a shit football coach.
Yeah.
Of like.
Pretty bold words.
Also very true words.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But also, if you take a generational player from any coach.
Any coach, yes. If you put Tom Brady on a lot of different coaches, they're probably the best ever. I mean, yeah, it's a two. I mean, it's a two-way go.
Now, greatest coach mainly for the fact of for him to pull that trigger and keep Tom in those games when Drew Bledsoe was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ballsy move.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't know that happens now.
No, it's not like Bledsoe was shit.
No,
like
you just paid the fuck out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
And we get this guy.
Yeah, I'm going to give you Commanders at the Texans. The Commanders are minus 3.5 off a win against the Eagles. Heineke is rolling.
Commanders. I believe in Heineke drinking Busch Lights out of a camo can.
I tell you what, I don't know if we talk about freaking Ron Rivera being just like an awesome person.
I don't like Ron Rivera.
Because of the whole Carson Wentz thing?
No.
Oh.
I don't like Carson Wentz because he's got red hair.
Okay.
I like red hair on women, not on the men. Okay. Like your beard bothers me.
Don't call me. I'm not red hair. End the show. We're done. End the show.
I know. You have light-skinned.
Yes. Fair-skinned. They have blonde hair. And with
No, Ron Rivera just, I don't know.
Something about him.
I think he's overrated.
Okay. I can see what you're saying that. I mean, it's not like I'm in love with the guy, but I would take him on my team.
Well, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't you take?
That's a good point.
Honestly, you'd be better off Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the two guys that Denver, the three guys they had narrowed down for the job.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell and Mike McDaniels. So we got fucking good pick.
No, the whole Carson went, like, I like Ron Rivera more because of the, like, forgetting that he's in front of a news camera as he's burying his fucking quarterback. They're like, fuck. Uh-huh. Like, that makes me like him more because it was just like, our quarterback's piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those of, like, it's the same thing as, like, when people say, hey, you really need to watch this show. It's so good. You hear so much of Ron Rivera as such of, like, well, okay, well, he's done nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the only Super Bowl he's been to, he
got his ass beat.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You made the Super Bowl. That's great. But let's not act like...
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that part. Yes. I got you 100%. It's you got to give me a game now, pal.
I understand how the game works.
Okay. Sorry. I won't talk.
It's a weird...
Oh, good.
I don't know what to do. But I'm going to give you the game before you pick. I just want to say something, though.
Okay.
Rams at the Saints. The Rams are getting 3.5.
Okay.
Andy Dalton's not playing well, and the fact they are sticking with him when they've acknowledged that Jameis is fully healthy, we're going to stick with Andy. I don't know what the deal is. Like, because it's not like Jameis played bad.
Yeah.
But because Andy's not playing great. I don't understand.
And for that reason alone, like, I'm going to probably take the Rams plus the 3.5.
Okay.
Like, if there's a way to get the Rams kind of on that winning track, I think it's this week.
That was just weird to me.
Like, there's no way he can play worse than Dalton.
Yeah. He's healthy.
Yes. Yeah, I don't get it.
I assume it's just like, hey, we're done with the Jameis thing, and like, we're just going to play Dalton, so at the end of the year, we just cut you.
Yeah.
And it'll be...
Yeah, go play somewhere else. Lions at the Giants. The Lions are plus 3.
Giants. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the Giants are so, and then the Lions being on
Detroit
that
just
win streak.
Like they cover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they might not win the game, but but 3's tough to cover.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's got push written all over it. We push a lot of games.
Yeah. We both went 4-1 last week, so if you guys listened to us, you probably won a little money.
Yeah, and if you would have played Justin Fields like I told you to, you'd have
not
had 40
like
points.
You. Not cash like you.
Yeah. No, I think whoever won it had him.
Yeah, they did. I think the top 3 did.
Top 4, motherfucker.
Sorry.
Hey, look, if you would have listened, you'd have been up there.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Because for some reason, you picked a fucking moron at quarterback.
I still did it again this week because he's cheap.
He's cheap because he's terrible.
I know. I don't buy into I don't go after my high-rated quarterbacks.
Well, I understand that, but for a little bit more, you can get somebody that can get some points.
Yeah. I went for Rodgers there for a couple weeks, and because he's cheap too.
Yeah,
so
he usually doesn't throw picks.
Yeah, I went with
your
Wilson.
guy turns the ball over like it's his job.
Yeah,
and can't complete passes.
I still picked him again though, because just what if?
It hasn't happened yet.
It's gonna happen eventually. He's due, motherfuckers. He's due.
I'm gonna play it out. See how it goes.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
I'm a stubborn fucker, okay?
When I'm looking at your lineup going, hey, you got a chance. And then I clicked on it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, you'll probably...
you might... I don't know who got more points. Andy Dalton might have got cheaper. He might have got more points.
He probably did. All right.
I mean, if you're going to go that route, you have other options of like fucking PJ Walker and shit like that. That's going to get you more points than...
I know it.
You just have hope.
I do.
I know he can throw a touchdown.
Come on, just one. Just one. if you throw 2, we win the game.
Well, the reason I said that is because, like, this is the last week you could play Justin Fields, because next week you score over 30 points.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to figure it out.
$15,000 or whatever the high ends go for.
Mm-hmm.
Is it my turn to give you one?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you give? I thought I just gave you one.
And then I gave you one. Now it's my turn again.
Oh.
I thought you knew how this worked.
I got lost at what was.
You're talking about you
Lions,
picked the Giants. Yes, you picked the Lions, Giants.
Bears at Falcons.
Bears
getting 3.
Falcons.
Good call.
Minus the tray.
I mean, the Bears are going to win that. Justin Fields is going to run 4. He's going to have no rushing touchdowns. He will run for 90 yards. He will throw for 220. 2 touchdowns and an interception.
Okay. I wish I would have typed all that down.
You should have. Not like we're recording it or anything.
No, I just thought about that. I'm like,
because if it doesn't hit, we'll just let it go. If it does hit,
I'm gonna
fucking tell you about it.
Okay. Let's go with this one. This one's shocking to me because they're not okay. I'll just tell you, Cowboys at the Vikings. The Vikings at home are plus 1.5 after coming off a nice win against the Bills.
Yep.
And the Cowboys losing.
Vikings.
Okay. I like your style.
It's kind of a weird thing of like Dallas goes to Green Bay, back to Dallas, then to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Vikings with the... I heard that.
I gave it a little extra.
Yeah, I saw your body move.
I was trying to echo it.
Yeah. Okay. My turn.
Yes.
Okay, I just was reminding you.
Trying to figure... Oops, I scrolled too far. I was into the wrong way. I was like, how are the Vikings also playing the Patriots? Give you... It's hard with the bye weeks because it's like, well, we already picked that game. We already picked that game. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Eagles at the Colts.
Yeah.
6.5.
Yeah. Oh, Eagles. I don't care. Eagles. It's just...
The one and done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he brings a different attitude. There's probably a different attitude.
I think they're going to be able to run the ball. Because I think their offensive line is going to play to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Defense has been good. But,
the defense is solid.
You know, I'm not a seller in the Eagles like everybody else was this week of like, hey, it's the NFL.
Yeah.
Hard to win games in the NFL.
Yeah.
You're not going undefeated.
No, you're not going undefeated. I like Larry Zonka had like a toast to the Commanders on Twitter. It's like, thank you.
Fucking hate that guy too.
All right. Your last game, sir. I will give you the yeah. I'll give you a good one here, sir.
It is tough as your scroll's like,
well, I got to give you a bad one. I don't want to. Panthers at Ravens. The Panthers are plus,
I don't even know what.
Plus 13. Ravens?
The Ravens are plus 13? Is that what you said?
No.
Yeah, I'm taking Ravens all day. I'm taking. They're minus 13 to the fucking Panthers.
Yes. Yeah.
Where's it at?
Baltimore.
Yeah, and you know what? Fuck it, Ravens.
Okay.
That was just...
Yeah, I know.
There's no way they're going to cover that 13 fucking points, but I'm going to stick with it because I jumped it so fast.
So
I may have stuck my foot in my mouth.
That's okay.
I mean, it's the NFL. It's tough to cover 13 fucking points.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the Sunday night game.
Okay.
Chiefs are minus 5.5 at the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs. The Chargers suck.
I don't know why the Chargers keep...
Now, I know that the Raiders have came out and said that McDaniels is our coach this year and next year.
Which usually means getting fired.
Yes. There may be 3 new head coaches in the AFC West.
I don't get, like, the Chargers of just like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not win?
Yeah, I don't get it.
And that, you know, I feel bad for Justin Herbert.
Yeah. I don't, but...
Well, I get against him a little bit because all the cock slurping that goes on with it, but he is a good quarterback.
He is. He is a very good quarterback.
Like, I don't know what it is with the Chargers, but it just ain't gonna fucking happen.
They fired their offensive coordinator last year, thinking that, that might help the production or whatever, but it's like, we didn't get anybody else to help that guy out.
Yeah.
It just didn't make much sense to me.
Rarely does.
Nope.
But people don't listen to us when they should.
They should.
Obviously, we know what's best.
For sure.
We spend a lot of time in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Which apparently, according to Bill Cowers, the only people allowed to talk about it or have any ideas about it are people who didn't play.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like, so I get penalized for being good at football, and you get rewarded because you sucked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
All right. WideSide!